Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm meadsy69 and welcome back to the channel. Today we are having a look at the Borsig, the BorShit as I call this tank. I honestly don't know why anyone likes this tank. Now it's such I don't know why. I don't know what it is about the tank that I absolutely hate, because I love the waffle and I love the grill, but yet the Borsig is just somewhat not good. I don't know. There's something about the tank. There is something about the tank that I really dislike. For me, hardly anything pens. I'm always having to switch to heat. The aim time, everything like that is all not great. And it's so low to the ground, you'd think that it will do well because you can actually hide behind tanks. The speed isn't great. The gun depression is okay. I mean, everything about the tank is okay. But for me, it just bounces more than it actually pens, and it's so frustrating. Of course, you can get the odd ammo rack, which I did on my short the other day, a nice blind ammo rack. But for me, it's just not a fun tank. In tier 8, there's many other tank destroyers. You've got the ISU 152, you have the SU 130, you have the Scorpion. But for me, the Borsig is just a tank that I would never go to. It's not a fun tank to play, and you just get absolutely wrecked. Now, I'm hoping, or I was hoping, that the new update, which brings the reticle calibration and the spool liner, would actually make the tank a lot better. Now, maybe the reticle calibration will actually help. I'm not using it, but maybe it will help, because of that aim time and the dispersion is not great. But the spool liner, I mean, everyone should run a spool liner anyway. It doesn't help that much, because people are still going to do more damage shooting HE than they are APCR or AP or heat. So even though you're going to use the spool liner, if people are going to shoot the HE, then yeah, it's still going to do less damage, but it's still going to do more damage than the normal AP or anything like that, especially if it's coming from a big tank, like a big TD in tier 9 or a big TD in tier 8, maybe another Borsig. What I don't love about the tank is you've got the waffle, where basically it's only the turret where people can shoot HE. You've got the grill, which has a massive gun that people always shoot, where this, anything is going to pen. Anything, you can shoot the hull, you can shoot the gun, and well, not the gun, the turret. Anything that comes your way is going to pen, and unless they hit the small tracks of yours, then they're not really going to just do the splash damage. Mainly that's the reason I don't know. That's the reason I don't like it. I don't know, but it's just something about the tank that I absolutely hate. Saying that, we are going to pull off a nice little win here, but I mean, I'm full hit points. We almost lose this game. The enemy have 2 tanks left, and both are just a HE splash. But yet we're still almost going to lose this game. We're on 3.7k damage. We've got 2 kills. We are losing on supremacy points. So I know I can't just sit back. I know I have to attack, and I want to attack. I know both tanks are on a one shot. So if I do attack, then I know I just have to splash them with HE. So my first point of my first mission for me is to get Cap C, to stop them getting the supremacy points. Now the WZ-110 has come, he has shot me, and we are now going to take a shot from the Cheetu, who has better DPM than me. I haven't got the greatest of DPM, and because he's there, I can no longer cap this base, and he just backs up in time before I reload. But now I have reload, he knows that, and he is actually going to let me cap. He can't really do anything else. There's still 2 minutes left on the clock, so he's actually going to relocate. I now have to be careful. I'm a one shot, he's a one shot. If he comes out looking at me before he gets spotted, then it's game over. And what a nasty win, or not, what a nasty loss this would be. Full hit points against 2 tanks that are both one shots, and I could still lose this game. But we are now pretty much winning on supremacy points, so he's the one that has to push, so I'm going to let him do that. I'm not going to be the one to push. I'm happy to take the win. I'm happy to take the supremacy point win. But he now knows he has to do something. But I don't know where he's going to come from. He could come from my right, he could come from my left, or he can actually come from in front of me. So I'm just going to wait it out. I'm literally just sort of in a bush. So hopefully if he comes from my right side, I shouldn't be spotted. He should be spotted before me. And on my left side, I do have the protection of a couple of tanks. So the Cheetu now has been spotted, and what I'm actually going to do is use this T-34 in front of me as protection from him, and I'm able to shoot under that gun or under the tank to finally get the win. But that was a hard win in the end. It should have been an easy win, but that was actually a hard win because, I mean, everything just splashes you with HE and you can't really do nothing. Fair enough, this game was actually taken in July, so almost a year I've had this game and I haven't actually used it. But this next game we are actually going to use, and it is actually taken from after the update. So the spool liner is actually now on this tank. Honestly, this battle I don't see too much of a difference, but we are going to have a good game. This isn't me, I can't really pronounce the name of the person, but he has a pretty good game. So straight up, the Borsig does have the strengths. I mean, when you can pen, the gun is actually really good. It could do good damage. As I've said earlier in the video, it is quite very low down to the ground. So if there's a tank in front of you dead, you can actually use that for protection, and you can't get shot from over the top of the tank. Or if there's some small rocks, etc., you can actually hide behind the rocks without actually getting being exposed as well. But as soon as you see that light bulb, you want to be moving, because everyone is going to go for you, because you're the easiest target. You are juicy as hell, and people will splash you with that HE, because that is what everyone does. Even with the spool liner, if people don't hit you with HE, then you know automatically that they're not a great player. Everything should be hitting you with HE. But our guy now, I mean, it is they are two tanks down. You can see the T69 can't even pen the T69. I know the turret's very troll, but I mean, it's not that good. It's not that good. The AP pen I don't think is great on this, and which makes you have to use the heat a lot more. Yeah, and that's why with the heat, if you hit the tracks or anything like that, then yeah, you're gonna bounce. But that there was a lovely shot on that T69, sets him on fire, and he is now gone. So do I think the Borsig is worth grinding? Of course it's worth grinding, because you're getting one of the best tier 9 tanks at the end of it, which is the Waffle. So I would definitely recommend grinding the tank. How do I play it? I mean, you have to sit at the back. It's definitely not a frontline tank. You have to sit at the back, farm damage from distance, and if you're spotted, it's still quite a quick tank. It's not the quickest of tanks, but it's still a quick enough tank to get out of there, relocate into a different position, and then just set up your tank in a different location, so you can again farm some shots. You need time to aim, because the aiming time is quite bad. The dispersion is quite bad. That's where the new consumable might actually help. The reticle calibration might actually help. I don't use it personally, but it might help you. It might help you. Now, he gets lucky there from the miss of the T49, and Corneus, his name is Corneus, I believe, and it just now leaves this VK, and he can actually take a shot from the VK, so he's just going to take a shot there, and he's going to reload, and he is going to take him out. So pretty good game. You can have good games in the Borsig, even though I don't like it, even though I think the tank is shit, you can still have good games, and I still see big damage games from this tank. Of course, it has a big gun, it does a lot of damage, it can still do big damage, but I would just honestly grind the tank as quick as possible to get the Waffle. But for now, hope you enjoyed it, guys. I'm Meadsy, catch you soon.